Good afternoon, maybe evening, ladies and gentlemen, depending on whether or not you finished your test today. You might be listening to this during class, you might be listening to it at home. Tonight, what we're going to do, first of all, before we do anything here, you need to take out a piece of paper, a clean sheet of paper, and with the holes on the left, you're going to label the fat part at the top with order of operations. Order of operations should be something that you know from elementary school, although with elementary school, with order of operations, you use the mnemonic PEMDAS. For middle school, we use the mnemonic GEMDAS, where G stands for groupings, E stands for exponents, M is multiply, D is divide, A is add, S is subtract. What I want you to do is take a moment right now, pause the video, get your notebook paper out, get the top of it in the fat part at the top, labeled order of operations, get this copied down, pause it, pause the video, get this information copied down, and then I'm going to continue on with the discussion of what each of these items mean. Okay, so in elementary school you used PEMDAS, which stood for parentheses. Well, in middle school, we use GEMDAS, and we call it groupings because we have more items that group other than just parentheses. So we still do have the parentheses. They are a grouping symbol. We also have what's called the brackets. Those are a grouping symbol. But the big thing that's new to 6th grade with the grouping symbols is the division bar. The division bar is used as a grouping symbol only if there is an operation in either the numerator or denominator. See, like this is a division, but there's an addition sign in the numerator and there's an addition sign in the denominator. Division bars are only used as grouping symbols if there is an operation in either the numerator or denominator. Otherwise, a division bar can be just a division bar, which I'll show you in the examples in a few minutes. But if it has an operation in the numerator or the denominator, then that division bar is looked at as a grouping symbol, and it needs to be addressed first. So this is the order in which you address items when you are solving an order of operations problem, as you probably well know from elementary school. E stands for exponents. We worked exponents today, yesterday, this week. We've been looking at exponents, where you have a number as a base written in exponential form with an exponent. M, of course, stands for multiply. D stands for divide. These two items, though, go together like macaroni and cheese. You don't pick out your multiply and divide and do your multiplies and then do your divides. You multiply or divide in order from left to right. So you pretend when you're working with a math problem, you pretend like you are reading a book and you do the multiplication and division in order from left to right. And I will also be showing you an example of that when we go to doing our examples. I'll be showing you an example of how you work them in order from left to right. You don't cherry pick. You don't go through and do all the multiply and then come back through and do all the divide. You do them in order from left to right as you come to them. The same goes for addition and subtraction. Again, they're like macaroni and cheese. They go together. But when you do them, you also do these in order from left to right. Okay, you are taking your time right now. If you have not had time to do so, you're pausing the video. You are copying down all the information on the board. This is the information you need for GEMDAS that we will be doing some practice with when you come back to class. you need to have this information copied on your notes paper as well as the 2 examples that I'm about to do for you. So pause the video if you need to, get this information copied down, and then we're going to do 2 examples. The first one is going to be parentheses, 4 plus 2, parenthesis, minus 5, plus 6 plus 3 with a division bar over 3 plus 5. Parenthesis, 4 plus 2, parenthesis, minus 5, plus the group 6 plus 3 over a division bar over 3 plus 5. Take a moment, copy that down. Pause the video if you need to, copy it down. All right, when I teach GMDOS, I teach you to box things and bring down information. So for example, we have to go through and we have to check for groupings first. So always working from the left to the right, complete all the groupings. Well, when we look, we see that parentheses are a grouping. So I have my students put a box around what it is that's in parentheses, and then whatever is in that box needs an answer. So underneath that box, you're going to put the answer. So in parentheses, we have 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. So directly under that box, I'm going to put my answer of 6. Then I am going to copy down the remainder of the problem. Everything else gets copied down just like it was in the problem above it. So now I go back to groupings again. Are there any more parentheses? Nope. Are there brackets? Nope. Is there a grouping with a division bar? Yes, there is, because 6 plus 3 is in operation in the numerator of this fraction. So this is the piece we're doing next. The box must have an answer under it. 6 plus 3 is 9 over 3. We finished by writing down whatever it is, it's already over. If this is a problem down here with an operation in it, then we complete that operation as well and write the fraction down. Now I copy everything else down exactly like I see it in the line above. I go back to the beginning. Groupings. Are there any more parentheses? Nope. Are there any more fraction bars? Brackets? Nope. Are there any more division bars that are a grouping and not a division? Here's a division bar, but because there's not an operation in the numerator or the denominator, it is just a division bar at this point. It is not a grouping symbol. So we do not solve it at this point. We go on to our next step. Exponents. Are there any exponents? Nope. Go on to the next step. Multiply or divide in order from left to right. So I start at the left and I look. Not multiplication or division. Not multiplication or division. Multiplication or division. Yes, it is. It's division. So I do that next. Put a box around it. What is 9 divided by 3? Hopefully you're telling me 3. Box has an answer directly under it, and then I am copying down the rest of the problem. Still on. Multiply and divide. Have to check it again. I've gotten this far. Multiply and divide. 6 minus 5, not multiplication or division. Plus 3, not multiplication or division. Plus 5, not multiplication or division. So all my multiplication and division is done. So now I can go on to my addition or subtraction. And again, I do them in order from left to right. So I start on the left. The first problem I come to is a subtraction problem. That's okay, because I do them in order from left to right. So I box off my subtraction problem. 6 minus 5 is 1. I put my answer directly under the box. I copy down the rest of the problem. I still have things to do. I come back to add and subtract. Looking again from left to right. I box off the first problem I come to. It happens to be an addition problem. Okay. 1 plus 3 is 4. An answer directly under the box. copying down the rest of the problem. Problem's still not done. I still have addition and subtraction to take care of. I put a box around my addition problem. 4 plus 5 is 9. No more work to do. Problem is finished. Answer is 9. Work through that problem. Make sure that you go back and look at it again if need be. I'm going to do one more problem with you. The next problem is 7 minus 3 over a division bar with a denominator of 2 plus 3 squared minus 8 over 4 plus 7 times 2. Get that problem on your paper. If you need to, pause it, write it down, and let's look. Go back to the top. First thing we check is groupings. Are there any parentheses? Nope. Are there any brackets? Nope. Are there any division bars that have an operation in the numerator or denominator? Yes, right here. So it's the very first thing. We put a box around that part and we do the math. 7 minus 3. Directly below we write the 4 over the denominator of 2 and we copy down the rest of the problem. Exactly like we see it above. Can't change it up. Staying with groupings until I'm finished. Groupings, check it again. Are there any parentheses? Nope. Are there any brackets? Nope. Are there any division bars that have an operation in the numerator or denominator? There's a division bar, no operations. There's a division bar, no operations. I'm done with groupings. The next thing I go to, exponents. Exponents, there's an exponent. 3 to the second power. So I'm going to put a box around 3 to the second power. By now we should know this is not 3 times 2. You tested on it. This is not 3 times 2. Mathematically, it is the base 3 times itself twice. So 3 times 3 is how much? I hope you're saying 9. Directly under the box, I'm writing 9. I'm copying down the remainder of the problem, making sure I come back and copy this way as well if there are things left, which there are. So now the entire problem is recopied. I look at exponents again. Are there more exponents? Nope. So I go to multiply and divide in order from left to right. This says multiply first, but when I come to my problem first, I have a division problem first. So I do that first. I always read from left to right. And the first thing I come to is a division problem. 4 divided by 2, 2. Copy down the rest of the problem. Go back to multiply and divide. Continue looking left to right. Addition, subtraction, division. Next problem I do. There's a division problem. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Copy down the rest of the problem. Do not get it out of order. You have to make sure you continue to do it in order. Still checking multiply and divide. Addition, subtraction, addition, multiplication. So finally I'm going to do this multiplication problem. 7 times 2 is 14. Copying down the rest of the problem. Checking again. Is there any more multiplication or division? Addition, subtraction, addition. So no. So I go on to my next piece, which is addition and subtraction. Again, in order from left to right. So I start here, and the first thing I come to is an addition problem of 2 plus 9, which is 11. Copy down the rest of the problem. Not finished, so I check again. Starting left to right. 11 minus 2. Getting to the bottom now. 9 plus 14. And finally, the addition problem of 9 plus 14. And I'm going to come over to the side and write my answer. 9 plus 14 is 23. And I'm going to put a circle around it. Hopefully you can see that in the video. Let me check real quick. Can you see it? Oh, my camera's dark, so I can't see whether you can or not. I think you can. Hopefully you can. Maybe I should have written it in a different color. Whoopsies. Sorry. Anyway, you'll figure it out. Okay, there it is. Make sure you get that information copied onto a clean sheet of notebook paper, headed with order of operations. That should be in your notes section of your binder when you meet for class next. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.